What we need to do next, and it's very important this part, is to correctly map your Qlik tax codes to QuickBooks tax codes. And you just literally click on the Go to Tax Code Configuration button, and you just click the various tax codes that are in QuickBooks. So for example, we got our 0 code here, and I selected a 0 rated for my QuickBooks sales, and I've selected a 0 rated for my QuickBooks purchases. And for my code number 2, I've aligned it up with my standard 20% in QuickBooks sales and my standard 20% in QuickBooks purchases. So once you're happy with that, go back to your accounts and we'll carry on with some of the settings. So you'll see just down here we've got document numbering, and that's how it's going to number your invoices in Qlik and in QuickBooks. So at the moment, by default we've set it to use QuickBooks numbering, so it will use QuickBooks numbers when you post to QuickBooks, and it will change the Qlik numbers to match QuickBooks as well. You can also extract the QuickBooks prefix that you might already have on your QuickBooks. If you like, you can use Qlik numbering if you like, and you can also use Qlik prefix if necessary. But generally, you're probably going to be using QuickBooks numbers if you've already been using QuickBooks. Now, if we go down below further, we have product services, and then basically this is all the items you attach to your invoice. So when you attach them to your invoice, you might have a product code, and if it has that product code in QuickBooks, it will link with that product in QuickBooks. If, however, you don't, it will try and match on description, and it will put it into that particular product. And if not, it will still post it, and it will just go into the default sales invoice or service invoice products that you've got in your QuickBooks. The next one below that is your expense documents items, and this is really your purchase orders, and it's always going to use only items by account. And what that means is if we click on QuickBooks, I'm just going to go in here and go into a purchase order, you'll see it will put the item credit card charges, and then the description of that item will go into the account credit card charges. So these accounts, you might have various different ones in your QuickBooks, and that's what it will essentially do. It will go to your default one in there. You can go into the items in Qlik as well and change them. So for example, if we're in a purchase and we go into a purchase order and we just add a purchase order, you'll notice that you have nominal, and you can choose your account in here as well. So that's how it would link into QuickBooks. So let's just go back to those settings. So you've also got carriage expense item type as well, and that only comes up if you attempt to use items by product rather than using only items by account, which you must be aware not all versions of QuickBooks will support this. So if you're going to do it by expense count, that's fine. If you're going to do it by same product service as sales, then you tick that. But generally you're probably going to be ticking that. Okay, you also have your carriage product service expense item as well that you can find in here. If there's a drop down, if it's come from QuickBooks, in this case there isn't, but we'll just click on refresh to just double check that. Oh, there we go. So we've got carriage in there, so we can put our carriage in there that's come from QuickBooks, and the carriage item description is carriage. Scroll down a little bit further, you've got unit of sales purchases. Incorporate unit of sale into quantity rather than price each. Incorporate unit of purchase into quantity as well, so you can change that to price each if you wish to. And you've also got your posting option. So when you're posting to QuickBooks, you'll notice that you have some user fields in QuickBooks, and you can post various information from your Qlik invoice into these user fields. So for example, sales custom field 1, I might want the job number to go in there, and in the field number 2 I might want the customer reference to go in, and in the customer field 3 I might want the site description. And you can do the same with the purchase order as well. So I'm just going to select a couple here. There you go. And now if you scroll down further, you also have a little tick box where you can post your invoices as a single item. What that means is it will total out into one line item, and that will be the total amount of that invoice rather than itemizing it. Now down below you've got what we call cache settings, and what this means is it's going to be storing data, so when you post next time it should be a bit faster because we stored the relevant information already. Okay, so we're just going to press OK on that, and I'm just going to show you quickly how you would post an invoice into QuickBooks. So if we go into an invoice, you'll notice that there are some that have already been posted. Let me just find one that isn't. So we double click on, oh, and then most of them are. So let's just go into this one. We'll just mark it as unposted for now. And then if we click on tools, we can click on post to accounts, and that will post to your QuickBooks account. There we go. So it's giving you an invoice number 1038. So there we go. It's nice and working. We can have a little look at QuickBooks just to see what that looks like. And we can see that invoice in here. Let's just do it by number. So 1038, you can see it in there. And you can see that you've got that QuickBooks invoice in there. Okay, thanks very much for listening. Hopefully that's helped you.